17 days old, baby Antonia has already had a COVID-19 scare. She was a patient of the butterfly unit at Melbourne's Royal Children's Hospital when another newborn tested positive. Her parents are incredibly upset, saying they only found out about the outbreak through the media. And Mum Stephanie Dore joins me now. Steph, thanks for joining us this morning. It's not good enough, is it?
No, it's not, Ali. It's been quite an ordeal, quite frankly, and if it wasn't on the news, we wouldn't have even known, to be honest. So it's been really bad.
I mean, you had a beautiful little baby there. She's such a sweetheart. We know she was just 7 days old when she was raised to emergency and she was placed in the neonatal unit. While you were there, was there any sign that something was wrong?
Look, it was odd. It was really odd. So my husband and I, because we could only have one parent at a time, obviously we would talk in the evening or on FaceTime, and we noticed there were little things going on, such as the family room and, we could make your tea and coffee was closing down. Furniture was being moved out where some of the staff, as in nurses and doctors, would sit and, have a tea and their coffee. And we thought, God, that's really weird. And, we did ask, and we couldn't get any answers, and we just thought, oh, at the end of the day, we were there for the care of our daughter. But obviously, hindsight's a perfect thing, and now we've come to understand it was because of the COVID outbreak with the little child that tested positive.
OK, so you're saying that staff at that time did know, but they didn't share it with other families in the unit?
Well, we don't know. To be honest, my husband and I are of the opinion that the nurses and doctors didn't know. There were certainly emails, internal emails that are sent to, all staff, and they would have a look at them and, obviously keep up to date. And there was always new requirements. The next day it was to wear glasses. The first day was mask. The next day the staff had to wear glasses. So they were always being updated with what was going on. But every time we asked about anything about the corona, because there was a previous outbreak a week or two prior, they were very cagey on how they would answer, and you could tell that they had been told to be tight-lipped about it. Frankly, I don't think they did know, and I have to say the staff and the nurses, the doctors were brilliant in looking after Antonia, absolutely brilliant. And I feel sorry for them because I don't think they know what was going on, and they were asking, well, where are we supposed to have our tea breaks and our coffee breaks? So I don't know that they do know. You can tell it comes from the top, Ali, and unfortunately, I think they were kept in the dark as much as we were.
And I think it's a really important point that you make there, Steph, because our frontline workers, the nurses, the doctors, those who work in aged care, they've often been kept in the dark about this themselves. They work putting themselves at risk. This failure, in your mind, the lack of communication, has that come from a bureaucratic level?
Oh, 100%. We got a call from the Royal Children's Hospital yesterday. I think it was about 5 o'clock. It was just after the news broke on Channel 9. And we did get a phone call from one of the doctors, and she was lovely. And she actually said, we said to them, all we wanted to know was, is our daughter at risk? Was the other child there when our daughter was there? So we can make an informed decision on how we wanted to look after Antonia. And she did turn around and tell us that, unfortunately, she was told from the Department of Health, or not her particularly, the hospital was told that they were not allowed to share any information whatsoever until then. So,
goodness me,
100% it's bureaucratic.
Is this, is this your first child, by the way?
My one and only. I'm not going back. She's a special one.
Well, and especially
she's given me a bit of a scare, Ellie, in her 19 days.
It's not the way that you want your newborn to come into this world, is it, with so much angst? But I can't imagine. Explain to me what that was like to be watching the news and to realise, hang on, my little baby may have been exposed to COVID-19.
It was so frightening. It actually came through to my phone as an article. It's a breaking news. And I said to my husband, I said, we have a problem. He said, what do you mean? And we're used to dealing with problems in our work, in our field. And I think he knew that this was a little bit different by my face. And I said, Antonia potentially was exposed to a child at the neonatal unit, butterfly ward, with corona. And he said, what do you mean? I said, read the article. And what was really frustrating, Ali, was that the article was so ambiguous because it said from the 12th, any child or anybody that was on the ward from the 12th of July basically will be tested for more than, who was on the ward for more than 2 hours will be tested. So evidently there was no closing date for us. So I thought, well, clearly Antonia was there on the 17th, was her first night. So I knew that there has to be something more to this. And it was absolutely and utterly frightening. My husband and I were just were beside ourselves, to be quite honest, and to ring the hospital and get the runaround because they wouldn't give me answers, and then to ring DHHS and telling me I've got to ring the hospital. nobody could give me anything, and other than my persistence, and I did get a little bit angry, I must admit, to the poor lady on the other phone at the Children's. You know, other than that, I still wouldn't be anywhere.
Yeah, you know what, and understandable, you know, your mummy's protective instincts kick in. I tell you what, she's such a beautiful little bub. How's she going?
Yeah, she's really good. She's normally up and beady-eyed at this time of the morning, but this morning she decided to have a sleep in. So the one day Mum could have had a sleep in, I didn't, because here we are. But she's a good girl. She's really good.
Well, I was going to say blame Carl. Well, she's gorgeous. Good luck
Carl's
with
fault.
it. I hope all of the drama's now
Thanks,
past and you
Ellie.
can just enjoy your beautiful
Thank
little
you.
baby. Thanks for joining us.